When you think of Pollen watches, your mind likely goes to vibrant colors, playful designs, and a distinctly modern design-forward approach to watchmaking. Based out of Glasgow, Scotland, Pollen has built a reputation for producing watches that feel refreshing in a sea of derivative offerings. Their pieces have always leaned into creativity. Think geometric dials, colorful accents, and minimalistic cases without sacrificing wearability or quality. A few months ago, I met Lucy at Intersect LA and she showed me this watch. Lucy not only works for the brand but also runs the Watch Box Diaries YouTube channel. She's definitely doing a great job. I'll leave a link to her channel below. You see, Pollen has decided to dive in literally with their first true dive watch, the Mara. They offer it in black and this blue colorway. On paper, it has all the ingredients you want from a debut diver: 300 meters of water resistance, solid finishing, a reliable automatic movement, and a versatile aesthetic that feels equally at home in the office as it does by the water. In this video, we will explore together if this watch lives up to the expectation of seasoned watch enthusiasts, especially in a market crowded with capable divers at similar price points. Now, after spending some time with the Mara Blue, I have some thoughts, good, bad, and everything in between. Let's start with the basics. The Pollen Mara Blue is constructed of 316 stainless steel, comes in a very wearable 39.7mm case diameter with a cushion-shaped case that immediately gives off a slightly retro vibe. There's no denying this design pulls some influence from the Doxa sub family, and even a touch of SoCal cushion cases from the 1970s. Add in a bezel design that hints at Blancpain 50 fathoms, and you got a watch that wears this inspiration proudly. Yet, somehow it still manages to feel original. The proportions help a lot here: 39.7mm in diameter, 48mm lug to lug, and 13.5mm thick. On my 6 7/8 inch wrist, this thing fits like a glove. It has real presence without feeling chunky, largely because the cushion case spreads the visual weight out across the wrist. The short lugs help it hug the wrist nicely, and at this size is basically a sweet spot for a modern dive watch. A solid case back encloses the top-grade automatic Le Joux G101. This caliber has an approximate power reserve of 68 hours and beats at 28,800 beats per hour. It's a contemporary caliber that has started to hold its own among microbrands at this price point, and Pollen, alongside their parent company Anordain, really seem to like this caliber as it's been used across their models. The watch ships with two straps: a fitted rubber strap for proper dive watch duty and a fabric strap for casual wear. This is a small but welcome touch. Plenty of brands at this price point would sell you one strap and ask you to pay extra for the second. Pollen gets it right here. I really like both of these straps, but for me the rubber strap would look so much better without the embossed Pollen logo. Nonetheless, it feels comfortable, and interchanging the straps is very easy thanks to the quick release system. Also, the lugs measure 20mm, so finding different straps should not be a problem. And of course, it's a real diver. 300 meters of water resistance means you can swim, snorkel, and go diving without a second thought. The double dome sapphire crystal has 3 layers of AR, which means the lacquer dial can be fully admired. Of course, Pollen put a signed screw-down crown that's easy to operate and helps with the water resistance. The overall look of the Mara works. There's an undeniable charm to it. The dial is clean, the case finishing feels robust, and the combination of design cues from Doxa to SoCal to Blancpain somehow blend into a watch that doesn't feel like a copy of anything else. Pollen has a knack for injecting just the right personality into their designs to make them feel distinct, and the Mara is no exception. The finishing surprised me the most. The case feels solid, the brushing is even and consistent, and the bezel action is satisfyingly tight with a unidirectional 120 clicks. The Mara feels like it was built with care, not just churned out in a factory somewhere. I also love that it comes with 2 straps. It shows that Pollen thought about how people would actually wear this watch. The rubber strap works great with water, but the fabric strap dresses it down nicely for casual wear. And of course, the water resistance gives it peace of mind. At 300 meters, this isn't a desk diver that freaks out when you get caught in the rain. You can actually use it the way a dive watch is meant to be used. That said, the Mara isn't perfect. For one, the lume could be better. It works, but it doesn't have the brightness or longevity you expect at this price point. When you consider the competition watches like the SoCal Prospects line or even microbrands like Zelos and Baltic, the lume here feels a bit underwhelming. Sure, Pollen is using superluminova, and it's cool that the hands have a different hue to easily tell time, but the brightness needs to be increased. Speaking of price, at $1,672, the Mara sits in a very competitive segment of the dive watch market. There are a lot of fantastic options here, and while Pollen's design stands out, some might question whether it offers the same value as brands with longer histories in dive watch manufacturing. Finally, the dial. It feels a little empty to me. I like the off-center logo placement, it's quirky and fun, but I wish there was a bit more going on. Maybe a cool symbol at the 12 o'clock or the water resistance information at the 6 o'clock would have given the watch a little more dynamism. After spending time with this watch, I find myself liking it a lot, but not quite loving it. Here's the thing, as a first attempt at a dive watch, this is a strong debut. It wears beautifully on my 6 7/8 inch wrist, it's well built, and it captures Pollen's signature blend of playfulness and seriousness in a way few brands manage to pull off. I also appreciate that they chose Jason Heaton from the Grey Nato to model this watch for their campaign, as that adds a ton of credibility for this release. But the lume, the price, and the slightly sparse style keep it from being a home run for me. At this price, you start to compare it to heavy hitters from Seiko, Doxa, and micro brands that are pushing the envelope on materials and lume performance. Still, I can't help but respect what Pollen is doing here. The Mara shows that the brand isn't afraid to step into new territory, and if this is their first attempt, I could only imagine what a second or third generation Pollen diver might look like. In the end, this is a fun, well-made, and refreshingly original dive watch that signals exciting things ahead for Pollen. It may not be perfect, but it's a watch that makes you smile, and sometimes that's enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and by the way, also leave a link to the Grey Nato podcast. The hosts James Stacy and Jason Heaton are both fantastic and super knowledgeable. Until next time, be safe out there and stay humble.